Hey, this is Blind Fox and let's get started on this video. We are back in Gunsmith Simulator again, or still. We are going to... Last time we did some work for Grandfather. We did the Cold Peacemaker for him, and we did the one of the flintlock guns, and I can't remember which one, so let's just go and check this out. We can increase something else here. We will go for not really this. We might either go for cleaning or for the machine. Let's go for the machine because we did get the upgrade for the all of our stuff we have to buy, the discount there. So you can see what guns we've worked on. We've worked on the Colt 1911. We've worked some on the M1 Garand. We've worked some on the MAC 10. We've worked on the Colt Peacemaker, and we've worked on the Mauser Pistol, which is a flintlock. And this one you get when you when they updated the flintlock update. They have done, I think they added some Desert Eagle thing here last time, but we are going to work on our Glock now that we bought a while ago, or not bought, that got sent to us. It wasn't a Glock, it was a Mauser. Okay. I thought it was we did the Glock, but apparently we chose the Mauser, which is fine. Huh. Okay, and again we only have enabled the parts we are about to remove that we need to remove. Let's go and just we have disabled the one that we have to pick up the whole gun all the time. Let's see how many parts this gun have. 44 parts. But we are just going to do the 22 that we need. So you do not need to remove this, so let's see where we're going to start there. The Mausers are really nice. And here you actually want to sometimes pick it up because you get into some of this stuff and it's a bit difficult to see it through the gun itself. I think that might be done. So here we've got this one. You can see the sheer amount of parts that's in this Mauser pistol. When you compare it to the well, not so few newer, let's say 10 years newer, no, not 10 years, 15 years newer Colt 1911. But then again, this is Mauser. He's very complicated guns, which historically is a problem with German guns, and the reason for it is a lot of the other we'll come back to this later, nations have sort of like the Americans and the British had access to material that you could do quite strong forging with. The Germans did not. They started late. They only started in what, 1871 with their empire. The British had already had theirs, the French had already had theirs, the Americans, well, they did their thing already in just before, I think it is in 1778, just before the French kicked out their monarchy. So and the Russians, well, the Russians always did whatever Russia wanted to do. And the Japanese was still catching up. That's, I think, the basically the nations we have. We don't have Britain in this game, but we do have the Americans. We do have I think we have French. I'm not sure. I don't think we have French. But where is that? There we go. We definitely have Germany because we've got some German guns. I'm not sure who makes all of the guns in the game, but definitely we've got Japanese. And I think the new update might be, some of the DLC might be Italian. I'm not sure exactly who that nation is, but in any case, German guns is complicated because they didn't have access to forging some of the elements you needed. That's why they're so complicated. But with the Mauser, we've got some cleaning to do. We've got some buying of parts to do. So what I like about the cleaning, the reason I didn't actually accelerate the cleaning, look at this. Look at the detail. I mean, there is scratch marks in the metal. Look at that. Just look, if the light hits it right. I must say I've got my graphics set quite high, but it is really, really detailed. You can see, I don't know if it's machining marks or if it's just normal wear and tear, some of this, but it is really nice. You can literally see all of that. So we are done. It'll look like it here. Yep, we're done. The game sometimes just takes a bit of time to realize you are done. I do sometimes like to do stuff in an order so that I can make sure that, okay, we don't have any gun stuff to work on here, so mostly cleaning and missing parts. Oh, grandfather gave us another letter. But we did read this one. What didn't we read? Why does it so... Okay, I think we might need to take a gun out to the gun range. So we only need... There we got Mauser C96. Very famous pistol of theirs. Lock frame, I think we need that. Come on. Yep, and we need the sear. Is it the sear? Yeah. Sear. Funny, it's not, you don't need the sear spring. Normally with this stuff, it's always the sear spring it's missing. There we've spent all of our money again. You can see we've made about 600, what is it, dollars from our work. You get a budget for each project. You do. You can overspend it by quite a lot. There's an achievement for it, but we do not have the money to do that. Oh no, I don't want to get out of there, yes. And there's new stuff again. So this cousin's rifle is Polish, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You can read about that. This again is Derringer. Oh, we didn't do the Glock, but anyway, we're not going to take any new contracts. Come on, lift. Yeah, escape. This is the only where your computer is the only way where you actually use escape to leave it. Most of the others are your right mouse button. So you can see it just need to replace that. And you can see there's a lot of parts we need to oil again. So the beginning stuff, it's not difficult. Whether or not you want your children to play this is your problem, not mine. It is educational, I think, because number one, it teaches you about the different parts of firearms, which is interesting, and there's historical firearms. Mostly the stuff which was used, a lot of them in World War II onwards, and a bit before that as well. I mean, we've got some iconic guns that was used in in American history. We've got the iconic Mauser Pistol. There is the Carbine 98, which was used. They do not specifically say the model, hence I think if I can't remember if Carabiner 98 was already used in the First World War, or if they still had the just the Gewehr 98, or if Carabiner was Second World War. Definitely, I think the Japanese gun was used in Second World War, I think, as was the Russian one. Come on, where are you? There we go. But you can see the complication of these parts. This is not, well, easy parts. Come on, where are you? Or not, I mean, it's not, it's truly complicated little parts. You can see the detail in them and how difficult it is to always find the places you need to oil, although they are outlined. Sometimes you just need to revisit them a few times because they don't. There we go. And now we have to put all of this back together, and remember, the completely disassembled gun has got 44 parts. We are only dealing with 22 of them at the moment. So this is an extremely complicated firearm. But it's an extremely popular, or it was an extremely popular one. Not as popular as FN got. But then this one is much bigger than FN. For the FN Brownings. And it's an awkward one. It's a large pistol. I do like it if you just pop it back into place. What I do like to do sometimes is if I get repeat contracts of some of the firearms just to finish up one. What else do I need to? we go. Haven't assembled this one in a while, so okay. We will go and test this one, then we'll go and assemble, or so let's see what we have. Now it does tell you okay, you can't remove the magazine because this is Mauser, not a removable magazine. Come on, where is the there's the safety lever on that side. Just turn you around, you can see there, safety lever. Okay. These guns, you can see this one has a stock. It did come out without stocks as well. Then it's a normal pistol. Oops. So you can see there we got our Mauser. What star did we get? No, we didn't. Why did they say we got a new star if we didn't get a new star? Or is it here? Oh, there we've got some new stars. Let's research this one fully. You can do intermediate research. Now we're going to do our M4. You can see a bit a newer weapon here. Also a nice large weapon. Let's see how many parts this one has. So what do they want us to do? What do we need to do? Let's see. So you can see here a lot of adjustments you can make to this M4. This is the basics, you got that. So we're gonna do some nice adjustments, yes. So let's see how many parts this gun has when it is at home. We have to remove 57. And this gun has got a whole 61 of them. So we are not going to remove all of the 61 parts just because, whoa, that's a lot. Let's remove its stock. Remove the magazine. I like to remove the magazine in some of this stuff just because, I mean, that's the first thing really you are gonna remove when you take your weapon apart. There we go. Let's gonna pick it up. No, it doesn't want me to pick it up now. Because I clicked on that. Let's pick it up. Then we can look. Forget to. This thing you have to turn, clicking with the left mouse button on it. So you can just remove some of those. You can see all of the parts we are not hopefully going to remove. And it's truly nice, the true complication of parts in here. You get all of the little parts there. These luckily I think we're not going to have to remove. So you can literally start with thing I wouldn't say easy mode, but just having to remove the parts you're actually needing to remove, and as you get more familiar with the the stuff, remove some more parts. So we've got some screws there at the back. But the sheer amount of parts of this gun, I mean it's a semi-automatic, automatic, some of this stuff, rifles, is amazing. And as I said, I wouldn't go for armorer after I played this game, but it sort of makes you appreciate what these guys have to know. And if you're interested in mechanic or any mechanical stuff and how stuff worked, and this is a very good game for you, especially if you're interested in some firearms history, seeing the ease of which firearms worked or not. That's what I like about this, with the flintlock stuff we did this last time. You can get see how damn cumbersome it is to load it, and you think it's a easy gun to make, but if you see how complicated the flintlock system really was, the hammer, I mean, come on, doesn't it just consist of the hammer? It consists of the flint, the whole screw mechanism to keep it in place. Then you've got the prison pan, and each of those parts can break. It is better than the matchlock before them, but I hope they add a matchlock rifle later. Just so as you compare them. And I like it just to sort of the list on the right again to move between these. And again you can have your little there on the left. Just has problems reading it, so I'm not going to read it. And just look at the detail of this part. There we go, there's something I need to remove. And that's just the sheer smallness of some of this stuff. Look at this. Look at that thing there. So we've got some there's some unnecessary parts. We've got some broken parts. We've got some missing parts, since we are gonna add some parts, and we've got some dirty parts. Doesn't look like we've got rusty parts. So these unnecessary parts, they all go into your sort of in your parts bin, and you can use it again later. So you will see here dark red parts is the parts that is unnecessary, because we are going to buy all of this stuff in new, because he wants other parts there. So you can remove them, you will see, right? And if you go over the part, it would tell you this one is a broken part. You see, you can't replace it yet because it is you don't have that part yet. So we'll clean some parts. And again, look at the detail, people. Just look at this detail, the sheer detail of it. The only reason I don't accelerate this table yet, just so that we can have a lovely look at all of this detail. And I do like the hovering icons over the stuff so that you know where to go. So we don't have anything to do there. Now we have to go and buy some stuff, which is somewhat of a list. And we've got a whole $920 that we've got in expenses or in our budget. So the M4, got the M4 Carbine. So let's see what we start with. So we need the 18-inch barrel, and here is where you have to keep your actual header in the game to get the correct parts. We need the long gas tube. Now, a problem I do have with this is the writing. I have a reading disability, so some of the writing could be a bit larger. And I did increase the some of the sizes of the stuff beforehand. Come on. Hope this is the correct thing. Yep. Okay, forward assist. I think it's just a forward assist we need, yes. We need the back sight. the knob. Wow, we did a gun and we didn't have to buy any springs. Come on. Ejection port cover, yes, that's what we need. Good, and we're done. Sorry, this takes a bit long because, hey, I said I had a reading disability, which means I sort of struggle to read. So it's $850. Why are we missing some? I think we are getting our discount here. You can see there's a $70 or a $90 discount. What do you call it? Discrepancy between what we are getting for or paid in what our budget is. So we get stuff for cheaper, which we'll see what happens when we return this weapon afterwards. That's why I like to add the fill up the discount bar specialization first. Come on, there we go. Okay, we'll see again all of the light green stuff is stuff that's been replaced already or removed. They say this in the beginning, this is not a fast game because you literally have to hand place each thing. It is, as I say, I like to, if I find guns that I already did, I will redo or not, get rather guns I know sort of to do, so that I can get higher proficiency with them, and then we can do quick assembles and disassembles, which we will do later on if we qualify for them. Just because the sheer amount of other work you have to do in the game increase. I mean, here we clean parts, we buy parts, we clean parts, we do a bit of rust removal in some of them, but there's not a real lot of waiting time. Right, we've got a bunch of stuff to clean. And again, all of these little screw holes let me do that nicely. Alright, now we have to put all of this stuff back. We'll first just assemble our magazine, then ignore the magazine and start putting back our barrel. There we go, that one. So I can't go back in yet. And here we have to actually zoom in because these are little parts. And there's some retention pins that needs to go back. There's surprising the amount of parts that can just sort of fit in, and then there's the parts that you need to have little pins for. Yeah, I've got some screws there to tighten again. So if you just want to shoot zombies, this, as I said before, is really not the game for you. That you would find another game for. Sometimes do like to just assemble the stuff that I can into bigger parts as well. This is more a slow-paced game, getting you to see what parts fits where. Just the historical interest of how it works. Some of this I do like, why it worked. Well, that I sort of researched. Here we go. And just seeing the sheer complexity of this sort of lets you realize that, well, if you take the well, we haven't done some of the older guns here, but I know Enfield quite a bit, but let's say we take the single shots like the Martini Henry, which literally I think is the most uncomplicated gun you can get. The Peabody, which was its predecessor, and here I'm not talking about the early model Martini Henrys, I'm talking about the model or the Mark 5-ish. Anything I think above the Mark 1. The Mark 2 Martini Henry, we don't have them in the game, but anything above the Mark 1 Martini Henry where they simplified the sear. If you take the sheer simplicity of that thing, and you look at these guns and the sheer complicatedness of them. I know there's a guy that actually made a dummy Martini Henry somewhere on the web. You can 3D print it, also with every last little screw, which shows you. And I didn't count the parts there, but I mean, it's just so uncomplicated. If you disassemble a Martini Henry, you've got the butt screw that holds the butt stock to the gun. You've got 2 retention pins at the back, 1 screw retention pin thing to keep the trigger in, and it's just not very complicated. There's a bit more parts for that, so let's test this. And this is the struggling bit I have with a lot of these guns, because all of their I think that's the safety. Yeah. So we need to go to full automatic. And put that on safe again. If you look at the other side again, here we'll see the lever that we were just working with. But this is really nice. And yes, you can also paint this stuff. So let's take this to the range. Just gonna go to the normal range. And you switch between your guns with 1 or 2 or 3. I think you can have up to 4 guns if I can remember. So let's just do the normal magazine challenge. Yes, we want that one. We are loaded. You can see your Mauser takes 10 rounds, which is very nice for a pistol in that era. Mind you, it's a very big pistol, but yeah, you can see here, it's got a nice V-notch. That's a bit far for this gun, in my hand anyway. Now I could speed up my shooting a bit, and you can see there this triple clip. Mind you, I think this was the first triple clip loading weapon. I'm not exactly sure. Somebody can go and check me on YouTube or on wherever, but I know that the V98 has triple clip. I do not know if the some of the other earlier Mausers had them. But this, let's see again, definitely a Mauser feature, and again you can shoot like that, but why would we? It was one of the main problems that they had in the Boer War actually. The Boer Mausers had, because they bought some Mausers from sort of in the Spanish model. Some of them was later sold to Chile, that had a totally round bolt. You see, well, we didn't do that bad. Well, 75, 74, 72, let's see how we did overall. 121 something, well, not bad. We never do good at this, but then I never do good at this. Anyway, so the Boer Mauser Gewehr 98, they had stripper clips, which the Enfields, the Lee Enfields and the Lee Medfords did not have at that time. And although the magazines of the Mausers only took 8 rounds, here we've got again a 10 round magazine. Because the magazines only took 10 rounds, you can see we've got the Enfield didn't have the stripper clip, so you have to reload them manually if you use the magazine. The Mauser had the stripper clips, and they had 5 round magazines, but they could be reloaded very fast if you used the magazine. So let's see, we've got semi-automatic, fully automatic, safe, again 10 round magazine. Oh, and you can see there we've got the aiming reticule again. There is telescopes available in this game. I think the Arisaka actually comes out with one. That you can mount. That's not even, that is available not even in the that is available as the actual gun part. Reload. Just drop the magazine. Nice ease of reloading. Come on. Now I'm not going to try this on full automatic to see if I am oh well, let's do so. Let's go full automatic and see if I've got fast enough trigger control. Nope. Nope. No, I don't think so. Nope, we did not have fast enough trigger control there, that's why we scored so badly. I actually did better with the Mauser. But then I was on fully automatic the last time. So you see you've got the same problem with a normal gun than we have with these. If you're on fully auto, if you put your finger down too long, it fires more than once. And you really have to be... I'm using a mouse, I do not know if this game is available on console or any other way to do this, but you have to really be fast. I know it's possible to fire a fully automatic gun actually in one-shot bursts on fully automatic, but I am not that person. Okay, there they would send, we will get that amount, we spend there. You can see that we spent a bit less. Let's see, 120, we had 160. I'm not going to try and figure out. I'm not sure if you get the extra money or if you just save your client the money, but sometimes you do get a bonus. Let's go and run. Oh, we'll see. Go. Got this. You can see there, stock detaches. We got some extra. So we do have a nice new level we can go and spend. So we'll return these. So let's see. How much do we have? We've got 630 there. Yep, we've got 630. Sorry, $850. We get 120 if we return this. And now we do not get the extra to keep the extra money we do not spend. Okay, so Grandad's giving us bid, yes. So now we can go and bid for some guns. We've got 900, 1,000 and a bit of money. So we'll go to the bidding spot and see what we have. These are guns that is repaired by people with nice backgrounds. We'll check out later if we buy a gun. Can we afford anything here? The only gun we might be able to bid for is this flintlock. All the others are, you can see, a bit above our current expenses. So we can either bid for this one, just to have it, a bit expensive. So let's see, buy. I'm not gonna go over 900. So if we don't get it for under 900, I'm not gonna bid further. Oh, great, we've got our gun. So before we choose anything there, let's just go and add our specialization. We've got one, let's add it here to this machine. The next one, depending what Grandad gives us to do, I'll add it here and then I'll add it here, or I'll add it most likely there. You can of course add it anywhere you want. See there. Okay, now we're gonna pick up this gun. I'm not gonna work on it now. I'm just gonna pick it up. So this is now our gun. We have to fix it. We can do with it what we want, but like all other guns, we start here. Now this is a replica. I can never remember which one it is, but we've got the replica. This is the actual antique. I've yet to see an actual antique, I think. I think I only own replicas of this stuff in my normal game I play. Okay, so now we can disassemble the thing or just store in safe. So yes, I want to store it in safe. Now if we go to our safe, we will see we've got one gun stored, and it shows us this gun needs to be still repaired. If we did repair it, this will disappear. We can always sell it in the auction house. So I think this will be the end of our video. We'll buy some new guns in the start of our next video. So thanks for watching. Please support the channel, please subscribe, please go and donate on patreon.com, and see you at my next gaming. I do hope you enjoyed this episode.